Hi everyone, welcome to Chemistry and Society at Rock Valley College. I'm your instructor, Dr. Liz Hanson. I'm really excited to get this fall 2019 semester started, and just as I would if we did meet face-to-face, I'm going to do a walkthrough of the course, introduce you to our syllabus, course policies, all that good stuff. Now before we get started, some things to always keep in mind, and you'll hear me repeat this over and over. If you have questions, ask. Because I don't see you face to face. This is an online class. It's harder for me to gauge if you are falling behind, if you have questions, because I can't see your faces. So I can't tell, oh, I got that worried look, and that student must not know what they're, must not know what's going on or need some help or clarification. So I don't have that feedback from you. So I really rely on you to be an active participant and to let me know when you have struggles. Okay, so we use Eagle. If you're watching this video, you are in Eagle, so you know that. Hopefully you are familiar with Eagle. If not, and you struggle with Eagle, we do have a great system on campus for students that if they need help using Eagle and whatnot. I'm going to assume though that you guys know what you're doing or you can figure it out and you're tech savvy. So I'm not going to walk you through all the nuances of Eagle in this video. We're going to really focus on the class. One thing I do want you to do, and you guys can see my screen, right? And that is what we call Eagle. Eagle is our mascot at Rock Valley College, is a program called Canvas. C-A-N-V-A-S. You can see it on my screen there. And the very first thing I want you to do is pause this video. Don't even multitask because the things I'm going to share in the video are really important. You need to hear them. So pause the video for a minute and go download this app, the Canvas Student app. If you're an Mac user like I am, you're going to go to the App Store. You can also find it on Google Play. You can find it, they have the app for all types of smart devices. I want you to get and use the app because when I send messages, when you get notifications of grades, all sorts of things, it'll come through your phone, for instance, like a text message would, as a big notification. And these things are really important. I'm not going to inundate you with communication, don't worry, but when I do send something, post something, it's important. You need to know, you need to read it, watch it. You can also use the app to do a lot of the work in the class. So a lot of you like to work on your phones. That's awesome. You can go ahead and use the app for that. So please download, get the Canvas Student app right now. The first time you open it, it will ask you to find, the state, then the college, just that first time. And you'll put the same ID and password that you use for Eagle online, you'll use for the app. And you should only have to sign in once. It should remember you. So there's that. Okay. So now let's take a look at the class. You can see our class here on the screen, what it looks like. This is your class. It's your playground. Click, open, look at things, watch videos. Everything is for you. Again, it's your play box, playground, toy box, whatever you want to call it, it's for you. The top of the page will always be the most recent announcements. And if you have not read them, there'll be a little blue dot next to it. You can see these little blue dots. So a couple things I want to emphasize here. I'm not going to read you all these words. If you're in this class, we're using a program called First Day, which actually saves students a lot of money. And that applies only to our e-textbook, which is also where we do our homework and our exams. So you need to have access to it. But the First Day program, instead of paying, I think it's about $150 for the access to the ebook and the materials, I believe it's a course fee of $80 or less. So it's almost half price. By default, you are opted in as a student in this class. You were charged a course fee for that First Day program. There is not a textbook to pick up at the bookstore. There is a lab kit, but not a textbook. So the First Day program, you can read all about it here, how to access the materials. Basically, you should just be able to log in and click on, if you want to opt out, I don't know why anybody would, but if you don't want to be part of this program, you can click Course Materials and opt out. Otherwise, when you click McGraw-Hill Connect, McGraw-Hill is the publisher of our textbook. That's where you will find your ebook, your, I call them homeworks, but it's like a chapter Learn Smart is what they call it. And then our exams, it's all done here in McGraw-Hill Connect. And when you're ready, you'll click Begin. It'll ask you if you've used their website before. For an account, you can tie in your account. It will not ask you for an access code or anything because, unlike classes you probably may have taken before and used this is again part of that first day program, where if you're in the class, by default, you're going to be in for free. If you have any issues, I've got tech support. I'm going to show you where all the tech support information can be found in just a minute. So you have to go through Eagle to access this material. You don't go through their separate website, or it won't link to our gradebook and you won't get credit for the work. So you absolutely have to access it this way. Okay, so that's about the first day program. Class is open, not quite 2 weeks, but the class is open now. You can get in, you can start working if you'd like to work. Technically, classes start Saturday. I'll be in on Monday though. Our academic weeks in here, I start them on Monday and they end on Sunday. So you'll see that all of your work is due on Sunday nights, okay? And then again, eText, that's part of the McGraw-Hill package. So the only thing extra you have to buy pertains to the lab. We do use a lab kit that you either have to go to our bookstore and purchase and you will walk out with it in your hands, or if you do it early enough, you can order a kit and it will ship to you. Now, I warn everyone right now, if you order a kit, expect it to take 10 days on average, give or take, could be a little more, could be a little less to get it in. You need the kit. You need the kit. Technically, you need it at the end of week 1, which I'll show you in just a minute. You got to take a picture of yourself holding your kit, but for week 1, I will also accept you holding a copy of your order. But if you wait until the end of week 1, you really need to go to the bookstore and just buy it and don't order it online. You won't have time because you're going to need it for the upcoming weeks. So I've sent information out through your personal email addresses last week about the lab kit. Again, if you're watching this on day 1 of the class and you have no idea what I'm talking about, you didn't get the email, you didn't see the information, best bet is to go to the bookstore and just purchase one so you can walk out with it that same day. Okay, so this is our class. This is what it looks like. It won't change. I leave everything the same. What will change over here on the right-hand side is your to-do list. That's the calendar. I use the calendar for this class. In fact, if I click on calendar, you can see the due dates. So as I said, our classes, I like to run Monday through Sunday. So you'll see our due dates are all Sunday night. So at the end of week 1, you've got chapter 1 to do, you've got an introductory discussion to do, a quiz to do, a Dropbox for the first lab. All those things are sitting in there. And as you finish them, it'll come off your to-do list. There are some additional dates and things that have been added to the calendar by the college. For instance, August 20th, 6 p.m. is the last day to withdraw from classes for a full refund and obtain a full refund. So otherwise, again, you can click through the calendar. If you're using the app, you can also see everything's due Sunday night for me. Okay, so let's go back to our class. All right, so what else do we have? Well, if you click on my name, this is where you can see my office hours, my office location. I do host office hours online every Tuesday morning through a program called Zoom, which is like a webinar type thing. You can just call from your phone and ask questions and talk to me one-on-one, or you can do a webinar where you can be at your computer or even your phone. When you click on Zoom, it'll take you to the information. So this is every Tuesday. Actually, that Tuesday, I need to change that. Labor Day Tuesday, we don't have classes, so I won't be online. I'll be on campus in meetings. This is the link you use. You could also just call from your phone. If you have any questions about that, let me know. So let me go back here to home, back to my information. I also have an office. I am a full-time faculty member. In fact, I'm the department chair for physical sciences. So I have an office in the Jacobs Center for Science and Math on the 2nd floor, room 2017. I am in my office for hours, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. If you are struggling with the class, if you need to know how to do something, if you feel like you need some one-on-one time, this is when you come. Okay, you can just show up. You don't have to have an appointment. If there's another student there, you may have to wait, but I usually am able to get to all my students that are waiting. So those are your options for connecting with me. You can always email. You can call my office phone, but again, I'm only in my office during those times. And then I teach those evenings until 9 p.m., just so you know kind of my availability. Here's my cell phone. I ask, however, that you save it only for text messages. Very rarely is there a true emergency, but you're welcome to text. I just ask that you keep it from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I will not respond if it's outside of that time. So if you wait on Sunday night till 11 o'clock to do your work and you experience an issue, you're going to be out of luck. So please don't do that. Don't procrastinate. I'll be honest, I'll tell you a secret. This class is pretty easy in terms of the content, even though it's a chemistry class. It's more keeping up with the work. So for instance, have a calendar, set your due dates, and find study time. You know, if you haven't taken an online class before, that's one of the biggest struggles with online learning, and that is you've got to be self-motivated, disciplined. For instance, I teach online, obviously. I set up time every day. I try to work every morning. I start usually at 8 o'clock in the morning and start working just like, if I was going to the office. And that's my time every day, 7 days a week I do that. Now, does that always happen? No. Sometimes, I've got something going on in the morning. There's the beauty of online learning and teaching is you can push it off a little bit. So maybe the afternoon before I work. But my plan is the morning. And if I have to change it to the afternoon or maybe even evening, that's fine. But I've got a full day to fit it into my schedule. You guys don't have to be in every day, but you have an academic week to get through by Sunday night. So do not wait till Sunday to do it all. Especially the first few weeks when you're trying to feel out the course. You may have questions and things where I'm not available 24 hours a day to you. And so you have to wait, or you contact tech support and you have to wait. Work ahead. Try to get it every day. Set aside some time in a quiet location. Right now I've kicked my husband out of the house so I can talk to you. Find some time when you can just be alone with your work and get things figured out for the class. Okay, some kind of sage advice for you. All right, let's come back here to the main page. Course syllabus, we're going to go through in just a second. And then the lab kit. These are the instructions that I sent you. If you didn't get them or if you've not seen it, click here as well. You can read all about the lab kit. I have a separate video about that, and I've emailed you about it, so I'm not going to talk too much about the specifics of the lab kit other than what I've already said here. This video, now that you're watching it, has been replaced by the one I'm showing you. When you're ready, you're going to click Start Here. Tech support, I talked about those a minute ago in my video. If you need to contact someone regarding our lab kit, here's the phone number, here's the email address. You get an answer much quicker if you call. The Connect folks, which is where we do the online homework, or again, they're called Learn Smarts, one per chapter, and our exams, you can click here to fill out a form, or again, here's their phone number. And then RVC has support, technical support for Eagle, which is what we're using right now. There's the phone number and the email address as well, or you can contact me. Remember, calling almost always gets you a quicker response than an email. Emails can take 1, 2, 3 days, especially depends on when you're sending it. But I'll leave that up all semester. It's also found in the syllabus. Some great RVC student resources. This is a page that I created a few years ago. You may even see something similar on other faculty pages now. A lot of people are using it. We have a great tutoring and writing center, whether it be for this class or another class. You're welcome to use our free tutoring center. The RVC Police Department, Eagle Support, I already showed you that. Our library, if you have a disability and you need to contact our disability support services, there's their phone number and location. Our personal and success counseling, we have a great group that works on that for students. You can see their information there. We have a food and staples pantry, which you can read about there. And then finally, if you need to talk to an advisor, here's the contact information for RVC advising. Okay, so all that you can find under pages. There's a list of all the pages for our class. Oops, view all pages. There's a bunch of them. Lots and lots. Probably not the best way to see them. I typically like to just go home page, then click on the different things. We do have a science resource room. We have one on the first floor, which is where if you take any biology or life science classes, that's located. We don't have the hours yet scheduled as of me making this video. Once I get them, I will update that here. And then finally, my classroom, I promote an inclusive community, and you can read about that here on the Safe Zone page. Okay, so let's go through the syllabus, and then I'll introduce you to getting going in the class. All right, so if you click on the syllabus, it takes a minute, and then it downloads, and you can open it. So again, a lot of this stuff I'm just going to let you read on your own. One thing I want to say about the course description: if you are taking this class, you have no intention, none, zero, of being a science major, whether that's pre-nursing, chemistry, biology. You are working on an AA degree, an Associates of Art degree. This class will not count for credit if you also take another chemistry course. So it does not count in the pair that students might take to get an AS degree, for example. So I want to say that right now. If you're in the wrong class, let me know. We got to get you moved. All right, I have a recommendation of recent high school chemistry, or our Chem 99, which is a developmental or high school level chemistry. Not required. I do find students who have taken chemistry before have a little easier time with this class, but absolutely not required. The prereqs, meaning you should have completed these or they wouldn't have allowed you to register. Testing out of reading, or completed our reading 099, tested out of math, or completed our math 092, 096A, or 096S with a grade of C or higher. And then again, recommended is that recent high school chemistry. Again, not necessary, but helpful. All right, this is a fully online class for those that are unaware. You guys can read through all the different course objectives, things we're going to look at this semester. Supplies, readings and supplies. So again, as I said at the start of the video, our textbook, it's called Chemistry in Context. It comes with an access card. That's kind of the old school, the way you would purchase it before, but now we're using the first day program, so you do not have to obtain this textbook. And in fact, I don't recommend it because it's provided with the online material that you have to have access to LearnSmart and our exams. You do need to purchase the hands-on lab kit, again, online or at our bookstore. I have separate details about that. You'll need a scientific calculator, but I'll be honest, my smartphone, for those that are unaware, let me show you real quick here. If you open up your calculator, right, so let's see, can you see this is my iPhone calculator. If I turn it sideways, it turns into a scientific calculator. And since this is an online class, this is open book, open note. Short of plagiarizing your movie summaries, there really isn't much you're going to be cheating on or anything like that. You're allowed to use your smart devices. You can use your phone like this. Perfect. You will also need a digital camera. That's my phone too, for taking pictures of labs. And then finally, you will need additional materials for the labs. And I know it's crazy because the lab kit is expensive, but there are additional things you will need to complete the labs. And there's a list that has all that information. It's with the lab kit instructions. You'll need things, for instance, like a CD. You will need aluminum foil like pie plans. A lot of people go to Gordon Food Services and get a pack of like 5 or 10 of those little aluminum pie pans. They're like $2 or $3. So some things like that don't come in your kit, but you have to get. I don't really have any recommended. Everything that's recommended and resources I've put in the class, so you're good to go. You can see our grading here, what we're going to talk about, more specifics in a second. Exams, you take 4. I count your top 3 scores. There's one final exam. You take it online. It cannot be dropped. You have to take it. Unlike the exams and things here with the little asterisk, I drop your lowest 1 score. So you can miss, or you can just not maybe do so well, or even if you do great at all of them, I still drop your lowest score. So for instance, you take 4 exams, I only count your top 3. We complete 13 labs, I count your highest 12 scores. Chapter LearnSmart, so for each chapter as you read and go through it, you answer questions. It's kind of a guided activity, again, as you're reading. So we cover 12 chapters, but I count your top 11 scores. Movie summaries, you watch 10 movies and write summaries, but I only count your top 9 scores. The syllabus and intro video quiz, you do this first week, you have to do that. And then in week 1, we do a discussion forum where you introduce yourself, get to know your classmates, and you have to do that for 5 points. My rounding policy is here in red. I will round your final grade if you're within 0.5 of the next highest grade. So for instance, if you had an 89.5 in Eagle, and no, that doesn't mean 89.495, it means 89.5. You have to have that or higher. And you have no zeros in the grade book, meaning you didn't miss anything, including any extra credit that I'll offer extra credit a couple times, unannounced. You'll have a week to do it. But anyways, that's the policy for rounding. What you can expect from me, I am your coach. I'm your teacher. I'm here to help you succeed. I want you to succeed. I want you to learn the material and earn a high grade in this class. It doesn't mean I give grades away. It doesn't mean I deviate from my policies. That's not me being mean. That's me being fair to everybody. I'm also available to you online and during my scheduled hours, office hours. I respond to student email within 48 hours. Typically, guys, it's within a few hours. If it's been more than a day and I haven't replied to your email, with the exception of Labor Day weekend, I'm going to be gone. But otherwise, during this semester, I should respond within 24 hours. If not, send me a text. Say, hey, you haven't replied to my email. Did you see it? Did it even get through? You know, things happen sometimes. And then I grade within 72 hours of each academic week's end. So again, our weeks end on Sunday. I'll be honest, I try to get things graded Monday. But sometimes I've got stuff going on. Again, Labor Day weekend, I'm going to be gone. And then we have an in-service teacher day on Tuesday. So it might be Wednesday, just that 1 week before I get things graded. But you can be promised that your work for the previous week will be done by the next Wednesday. So within 3 days of the end of the week. Again, I try and typically get to it on Monday. What do I expect of you? You're responsible for all the information provided in the syllabus, in this video, all the documents, all the information, communication, announcements, everything. You're responsible for following, adhering to it, knowing it. So at the end of the semester, when you say, hey, what happened with, whatever it is, I'll say, well, remember in the syllabus, in my video, in my announcement, I'll remind you of all the places I told you something and you just missed it. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of information coming at you, especially at the beginning of class, but you are responsible for all of it. Again, here's our academic week. Goes Monday through Sunday. The syllabus and intro video quiz, there's a 10-point quiz that I'm going to show you in just a second based on the syllabus policy, which are course policies, information shared in the video, and you'll take that it's due by the end of the first week. Chapter readings, as you work through the chapter Learn Smarts, or sometimes refer to them as homeworks. Each chapter has one. You are expected to read each chapter. I should say read, sorry. Introductory discussion in week 1, this first week. Introduce yourself, meet your classmates, and we'll show you that in just a second. Exams, every couple of chapters there's a regular exam. So after chapters 1 and 2 are complete, in week 3 you'll take an exam over chapters 1 and 2. Every few chapters that'll happen. I just call those exams. You take 4, I drop your lowest 1 score. The exams are timed. You have only 2 hours once you open and begin. They can't be reset, so be ready. Make sure your internet connection is good. Nothing late is accepted. So again, let's say you do experience some kind of technical difficulty, you reach out to them, to McGraw-Hill, you copy me, you contact me immediately, and I can reset it. Don't wait till Sunday night at 11 o'clock to do this and have an issue. I'm not going to be resetting it at 11 o'clock at night. So, work in a timely fashion on your assignments, again, so that we can work together before the deadline if there's a problem. Final exam, the very last week of class, which right now seems like forever away. It looks like I have a typo there, is due by Thursday, December 12th at 11:59 p.m. Don't worry about this right now. I'll remind you when we get closer. It's comprehensive, though. It's over all 12 chapters we cover. It'll be done online. Okay, so these homeworks, or again, chapter Learn Smart. You use the Smart Book option in Connect to complete these. You're going to read through, and as you read a paragraph, it'll ask you a question. You'll do things. It's interactive. I have a separate video in the Start Here module that I'll show you in a second, and you can watch that about how to use it. The grades are synced to our gradebook. So as soon as you complete an assignment, sometimes it takes an hour or two, but typically right away you should be able to go to the Eagle gradebook and see your grade for that Learn Smart or for that exam. Okay. 10 points per chapter. I drop your lowest one, and again you access this directly through Eagle. Okay, movies. I have found some great movies over the last few years that relate to the material that we learn in class. You are going to do 10 movies, and for each movie you're going to write a one-page paper. Now, have no panic or fear. I'm not a composition instructor. I don't care about APA formatting, citations, all that stuff. I don't even care if you do a title page, but I want some basic things. Spelling and grammar. If I'm kicking assignments back to you with poor scores because you're not writing in proper English or have grammar, spelling, punctuation issues, I recommend you go to the Writing Center, follow those instructions. Go to the Writing Center, let them help you with your writing. And again, basic grammar, spelling, punctuation is what I'm looking for. You'll lose points if that's not done. Okay, now in terms of the actual essay itself, what do I want? One page, just one, double spaced is fine. Half of it needs to be about the movie. Summarize the movie. Don't copy and paste a summary from online. That'll get you 0 points and turned into the college for plagiarism. Just watch the movie, summarize it in your own words, what it's about, one half of the page. The other half of the page, how does it relate to the class? Why did I pick this? So the summary is worth 2.5 points. The connection to our class is worth 2.5 points. You must do both. If it goes over one page, absolutely fine. But the bare minimum, it needs to be one full page typed, double spaced. You need to use, as it shows here, 12-point Times New Roman font. So for instance, when you open Microsoft Word, that's the default. Don't change anything, just start typing. The body of your essay has to be one full page. Again, don't need a title, I know it's from you, you're gonna put it in the Dropbox. So no name, no title is just fine. Just type your summary, proper spelling, grammar, punctuation, and then meet the 2 requirements for what the essay is supposed to be about, and you'll be good. The lowest one score will be dropped of your 10 movies. So again, you can miss one, or you can just do them all, and I will drop your lowest score. All right, here's tech support one more time. If you experience an issue, you must contact them right away. Let me know also. I usually can't help you, but I need to know when there's an issue happening. Late work policy. So the syllabus quiz, those chapter Learn Smarts, your exams are not accepted late, and there's absolutely no exceptions to the rule. Class is open right now. If you're watching this video, class is open. Otherwise, you have a full week to do the work. So waiting to the last minute and getting sick on Sunday, or having to run out of town on Sunday, or your computer's dead on Sunday, whatever it is, there's no excuses. So again, work early in the week, give yourself some cushion, maybe do 1 assignment a day. Isn't too hard. Labs are accepted late, but it's 2 points every day it's late. So they're due Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. If you submit it Monday morning at 1 a.m., you're losing 2 points. If you submit it Tuesday, anytime on Tuesday, you're docked 4 points. They're only worth 15 points. So after a week, you can't get points on the lab. You need to keep up with the labs, okay? Some labs take quite a bit of time, a couple hours. Some you can probably do in 30 minutes. Each week, I'll do a very short version of this video, like a 5-minute or less version. And I'll talk about the labs a little bit, kind of prep you. Hey, this is going to take 24 hours, plan in advance. You got to do something and let it sit for, you got to let it sit for 24 hours before you can finish the lab. So be prepared. Movies are accepted late, but it's 1 point per calendar day it's late. They're only worth 5 points, so be on time with that. And then the final exam cannot be completed late. Class locks, shuts, it's over Thursday night, December 12th. Your introductory discussion can't be made late. It's due this first week. And then the last day for submitting work is Sunday, December 8th. No exceptions. I'll remind you of that when we get closer. But then I need a few days to grade, get ready for finals, then be submitting final grades. So that's it. So in other words, late work from week 16 isn't accepted, which in week 16, you're only doing an exam, which isn't accepted late anyways, so you don't have to worry about it. Just remember, keep in mind, again, if you've missed work and you want to submit it, check the points, see if it's still worth any credit, keep up on top of things. All right, so attendance. This is an online class. I expect you to be online and active throughout the week. I don't actually take attendance, however. Some students log in 1 day a week and get everything done. That's perfectly fine. But I do have a missing lab policy. And this is really important. You're going to see a quiz question about this. You'll see me send messages out about it if you're getting close to this. This is chemistry. Chemistry is a hands-on science. The labs we do are critical to your learning and to the class. And you're getting credit for doing a lab course. So you have to do the labs. So in red here is the policy. If you fail to complete 3 or more labs for credit, your final grade will be docked 1 letter grade. So that means even if you realize in November, wow, I've missed 3 labs, I better go back and do one from September, it's no longer worth any credit. So I'm looking at zeros in the grade book. Not I did it, but I didn't get any credit. That doesn't count. You need to do labs for credit. So within 1 week of their due date at the very latest to earn any credit. So at the end of the semester, when I look at the grade book, if I see 3 zeros in your grade book for labs, your final letter grade, whatever it is in Eagle, when I transfer it to RVC, I will reduce it by 1 letter. If I look in the grade book and I see you've missed 4, you have 4 0 scores in the grade book for labs, your final letter grade when transferred from Eagle to RVC will be reduced by 2 letters. And if you have 5 or more 0 scores in the grade book, you will fail the class. So you've got to keep on top of these labs. Again, some of them are a little more involved than others. Some are really easy, but you've got to be on top of them, okay? All right, and I just talked about the lab kit, the labs, all that good stuff. Grade dispute. I am human. I make mistakes. If you have a question about anything, why did I get this score? I give feedback in the grade book, but if you don't see it or you don't understand it, please reach out and ask me. I ask that you do that within a week, however. I'm getting old and my brain gets forgetful, so sometimes I won't remember if you ask me 7 weeks later, why didn't you like this one particular part of my essay or something like that. So, okay, and then here, whoops, sorry, my paging is a little off here. This is our detailed weekly topic outline. So you can see our week 1 starts August 19th. And in that week, you are to do the Learn Smart for Chapter 1. We have the syllabus quiz, the introductory forum, and your first lab, Getting Started. And you can see for each week what we have. Some weeks have a little more than others. Okay. And then here at the bottom, that's again when our final exam, you have to have it completed. It's online in our class. And then the last day, the college sets for withdrawal from a class with a W. That's in November. Okay. The rest of this is really standard. The college's policy on academic honesty, students that have disabilities, academic alert messaging. If you are not doing well in the class, I will let the college know. Not just at midterm, I will be submitting forms that say, hey, student whatever is not doing well in my class. They're missing a lot of assignments, or it doesn't look like they're going to do well and succeed. I'll let the college know, and someone will reach out to you for assistance. Electronic devices policy, well, you're in an online class, so that kind of goes out the window, doesn't it? And then the withdrawal policy. So I will not administratively withdraw you if you aren't attending. You'll get an F. So if you are going to stop attending the class, please withdraw. I hate for you to have a W on the transcript, or an F on the transcript when you could have a W instead. It does look a little better. So you can withdraw yourself anytime prior to the withdrawal deadline, and you have to be, though, in person at records and registration to do that. And then finally, I've already showed you the RVC resources on their homepage, but the last is a disclaimer. And I will tell you, as an online class, I've never had to change this, but it's still my disclaimer. If there certain circumstances may require some changes to the syllabus, schedule, assignments, any changes will be announced in Eagle. Okay, so there's the syllabus. Now let's jump back to our class. Again, there's the information about the lab kit. You can watch a video about that right here. Okay, when you're ready then, 2 places you can go. They get you the same place. You can click Student Start Here, and it'll take you to the Student Start Here module right here. Or you can click on Modules, and the very first one is Start Here. So there's an introduction from me. The lab instructions are here again. How to access our eSmart book. Those Learn Smart modules that you do for each chapter on our exams, you can look at that. I have it here as well. I'm not sure why I have to. When you're ready, click on the student survey and answer some questions about you so I can learn a little bit more about you. Introductions. I need to put my introduction in here. I haven't done that yet. But introduce yourself, okay? One warning about this. Some of you are very wordy, like me, very wordy. Some of you are very not wordy, and you just put a couple of words. If you want to copy and paste this list, what's your first name, what's your major, these words don't count. It's 50 of your own unique words. So just tell me about yourself. You don't have to copy and paste this list. It's just a suggested list of things that, that might be interesting to your classmates. You've got to write a post about yourself. Again, I'll post one after this so you can see kind of an example. But again, these don't count in your 50 words that are required. And then you also have to reply to at least 2 of your classmates or to me. You can do either, but a main post and 2 replies. You can see the point breakdown, and when you're ready, you just click here and click reply. Okay, back to this. And then the other thing you have to do is the syllabus or intro video quiz. This is about the course policies. If you have a copy of the course syllabus nearby, this will go very easily. When you're ready, click on it. You'll kind of see the point value. It isn't time limited. You can actually retake this even if you want until you get a perfect score. In fact, that's what I would like you to do. It looks like this is locked. I'll unlock it so that when you open this, you'll be able to see it. So that's kind of the Start Here module. Let's close that up. And what do we have going on in week 1? Well, at the start of every week, I have a little week number, Start Here, and it's got some basics about the week. What are you going to learn in the chapter? Some of them are quite involved. You're going to read chapter 1, do lab number 1, and then what do you have due by Sunday night? All of this stuff here. Okay. We go back then to, again, that same module. You can watch a video about, it's very short. These are always under 5 minutes. A short video about the chapter 1 material. Some of you like to have PowerPoint slides for the chapters to take notes on or to use when you take the exam. You don't have to open these PowerPoints, but they're here if you want them. And then when you're ready to go in and complete the chapter Learn Smart, or do an exam, or just even read the book a little bit, maybe you're not going to work, click on McGraw-Hill Connect here or here. Same thing. Okay? Takes you to our class. And then lab. This is our first lab, the Getting Started lab. You complete the labs on a separate website. It's on the Hands-On Learning website. Whoops, sorry. This doesn't look like what yours looks like. This should look a little more like what yours looks like. Okay. So, and I show you this in the other video, but I'm going to say it one more time because it's really important. These first 2 labs are open to everyone right away. You complete the labs on this website, the Hands-On Labs website. At the end, when you finish a lab, it will give you a PDF file. You bring that and your required picture back into Eagle. You click on the Dropbox, and the instructions are here too, and you upload the files. Now, these labs, you have to do these 2 before the rest will open up for you. Okay, it's like attending safety on the first day in a face-to-face lab. These 2 labs are required to be completed before the rest will unlock. That's one thing. Second thing, these are not necessarily in order. So make sure you know from Eagle what lab you're looking to do. For some reason, these shuffle and move around and are different for everybody, the order. So you need to find the specific lab that we are doing for the week, open it, perform that lab. So when you're ready, you come back over here and notice these instructions. Every lab Dropbox have the same instructions. 2 and only 2 files are you uploading. I'm only going to grade 2. Don't upload 3, 5, 6, 10, just 2. 1 file should be the PDF provided from the Hands-On Learning website when you finish the lab. It gives you a PDF. So save it to your computer and then upload it here. The second thing is a picture, one picture, and everything has to be inside the one picture. One picture for this lab, because each lab, their requirements vary a little bit. For this particular lab, it's a picture of you holding a sign with your name, date, lab name. So just on a piece of paper, make a sign. Then also in that same picture, a picture of your lab kits sticker. So I need to see the kit code, because to be able to open these other labs, you have to input a code. I can't show it here because I'm not technically a student in the Hands-On Learning class. Again, if you watch my video, you will see the example of where you put your lab kit code. The labs will not open until you put the code in, meaning the lab company is going to give you these first two for free, but to access any of the actual real big labs, you have to put the code in and buy the kit, okay? All right, now this first week, as I said, there's an exception. If you have your kit on order from online, you can hold a sign and you can hold the order. I have to be able to read the order. It's proof that you ordered. I'm trying to keep everybody on task because, again, it takes time if you order them to get them in. And by the end of the first week, you have to have it ordered. Otherwise, it won't be in, and you'll have to take the class another semester. And as it says here, if any of these things are missing, you won't get credit for the lab. It will be returned. You can fix and resubmit. And by that, I mean if you don't upload the right files. Not, I did something wrong in the lab, I can redo it. No. If you submit the wrong file, I'll kick it back to you and say, hey, you forgot the picture, or your picture doesn't have the right components. You can fix it and re-upload and submit, but you're going to get late penalty points because it wasn't correct by the due date. Even if you submit it early, again, I sit down and grade everybody's at the same time typically, which is at the start of the next academic week. So follow instructions. That's probably one of the big things that I find students struggle with, is they gloss over instructions. They're not paying attention to detail. They miss something, and then they, for instance, submit the wrong file or do something wrong that, kind of silly mistakes, but it can cost them quite a bit of points. So that, and keep your lab kit stuff. Don't throw anything away, because if you have to take a new picture, if you have to redo something, you'll still have it. If you've thrown it away, you can't redo it, and you may be out the points altogether because you didn't take the right picture. So keep your stuff, at the very least, until you get a grade back. Otherwise, I really recommend you keep all your lab stuff until the end of the semester. Some of the stuff you're going to have to reuse, like your scale or your graduated cylinder. Some of the stuff, some of the supplies and chemicals, just keep in case you need extra. Okay, keep it till the end. All right, and then every week also has student questions, and it says right there it's optional. If you have a question about the course and you want to ask it publicly, you're welcome to. Welcome to. Just remember, this is a public forum, okay? So if it's of a personal nature, please just email me privately. All right, that's that. Otherwise, guys, I've opened up the first half of the class. For those that want to work ahead, you're welcome to work ahead. Otherwise, you're required to be in during the weeks to do the work. Okay, you don't have to work ahead, but only the first part of the first. I don't know, what am I through? Like week 8. Only through week 8 is open, and then when we get to week 9, I'll start opening the second half of the class. And if you work so far ahead and you want me to open something early, just let me know and I will. So pay attention to what week you're working in and the dates, because I'll leave this stuff open. I have it open early, and it'll stay open once you finish it. Okay. Last couple of things over here in the menu. Course materials, that's where you opt in or opt out. Opt out if you really want to opt out of the first day program, which I don't recommend. McGraw-Hill is where you go to read the ebook, do the Learn Smart modules, do the exams. Discussions, that's where you can post questions if you have them, introduce yourself. Pages, I may even pull this. This is the home page. These are all the different pages I have for the class. They're kind of, it's just a whole long list. It's probably not necessarily the best list. All of the things that you need to view are put in appropriate places. The course homepage, in the modules, or whatnot. Grades, if you're a student, I'm obviously not, it'll show you your grades, your scores, okay, for all the assignments. There's the grade book. what you will have that I don't have, up here in the upper right-hand corner is what's called what if. And you can like tweak the scores in your grade book to say, hey, what if I get a 95 on the next exam? How will it change my course grade? And it only changes it on your end. You're not changing my grade book. But it's a fun little, I like to call it the what if game. A game you can play with a grade book, especially as we get towards the end of the semester. A lot of students start asking, what if? What if I don't take the final? Okay, you can play with and put numbers in and you can check that yourself. People, that's everybody in our class, including me. If you want to connect with somebody that's in the class, send me an email. That's one way to do it. You can click and see pictures and things like that, or send emails. And then Office 365, again, you do have to write a paper, a movie summary, really. I shouldn't even call it a paper, but a movie summary. The best way to do that is in Office 365. Every RVC student has an account. It may not work right now for me because I'm in a funky mode of Eagle. Let's see what it looks like. But that means you have no excuse for not having a word processing program. Everybody has access to Microsoft Word and Excel and Outlook and all sorts of things. So if you are unfamiliar with it, you click here. It's not opening for me right now, but Office 365 and use your Rock Valley College login and password and you should be able to get in. If you can't, where do you go? Well, back to the course homepage. Uh-oh, looks like my computer may have locked up. Good thing we're about done. Back to the course homepage, there was the technical support link, or from the syllabus on, what page was that? Page 4, okay? That would be RVC Eagle, so Rock Valley College's tech support. Contact them about Office 365 if you're having any issues. And with that, you guys, I think that's all. I'm really excited for a great semester with you. If you have questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I will talk to you again in a video like this at the beginning of week 2. Take care. Bye.